Hello, and welcome to our series of videos about how to use generative AI. Today, we're going to go over how to propound contention interrogatories using a tool called Legion.Law. I'm Katie Young. I'm the founder and managing partner of Ad Astra Law Group in San Francisco. I'm a litigator in the areas of business, employment, real estate, and trademark litigation. And I'm showing you in these videos how I've transformed my practice using these tools. I'm joined today with Arthur Rothrock, who is the creator of Legion.Law. Welcome, Arthur.
Thank you again for having me, Katie.
Yeah. Are you ready to show this tool?
Ready,
Let's see,
ready to do it.
let's see what we can do.
One of the things while you're sort of queuing it up is whenever I was a young attorney, someone asked me to do contention rugs, and I did not know what that even was. So for anyone who has never done contention rugs before, it's just a very formulaic, state all facts, identify all documents, identify all witnesses, and it relates to this specific contention in the complaint. It's very formulaic. It's usually a defense side tool, something that whenever they get a complaint, they just sort of run through all the allegations and then kick out their first set of discovery. It's very quick and easy.
It's exactly what we're going to do. Okay, so we're going to start a new matter. And the matter name is, let's say, Meridian Healthcare v. Quantum Dynamics. Let me fix that. I can't type because I'm talking to you guys. We're in California, and this case is in Santa Clara. We create the matter, and it gives you the screen about what you'd like to do. Today, we're going to propound, and it gives you a choice. You can do contention interrogatories, special ROGs, RFPs, and requests for admissions. Right now, we're going to focus on contention interrogatories and hit generate document. And it's going to ask you to upload the pleading that we are going after. And in an earlier video, we generated this complaint. So earlier in one of these videos, we were pretending we were the plaintiff and drafting the complaint. In this one, we've taken the complaint that we drafted and we're pretending we are the defendant. So what's happening right now is that, right, Arthur, that it's reading through the complaint and it will identify then for us all the different contentions that are in there that we can ask about.
That's right. It's going to turn every sentence in that complaint into something clickable. So if you've ever drafted these before, you know that it's a lot of copy and pasting because
So much cut and paste.
you'll have they're very formulaic, so you have them all set up, but then you'll have like what the contention is in quotes. So you have to go into the complaint, you got to find the contention, copy it, and then paste it 3 times into your 3 different interrogatories. And then you usually have to go edit if you're specific about, in paragraph 1 or 3 or 5, whatever it is, and then edit that. And then you copy and paste the whole block, go back, go find a new sentence, and then sort of iterate from there. And it takes a very long time. And if you are like a paralegal or a young associate and you're doing it for someone else, it's also a pain to review it. So whoever you give that to now has to like go through and read all of it, delete out the things that they don't want. Then, if you're numbering it manually, then you have to renumber everything anytime there's a change. It's just a huge, tedious process. And I don't know that anyone really enjoys doing it.
Definitely not. All right, so we've uploaded the complaint. Let's continue to preferences. And we've got to tell it who we represent. So here we're the defendant. We're Quantum Dynamics Software Inc. And it picked up that name from the complaint we uploaded. And the responding party is going to be Meridian. That's the plaintiff. And let's go ahead and select what contentions. So here's the complaint. And as you said, each of these is clickable, right?
That's right.
Okay, so we're in the kind of the intro, nature of complaint relief sought. Let's see. Let's go ahead and click this one and say we would like to do a contention there. State all facts and documents here.
Yeah, so all Katie's doing is just sort of going through and seeing, okay, so here's all the contentions or all the allegations, and I want to know, all the facts, documents, and witnesses that support whatever this contention is in the complaint. So she's building out on the left what her final list of contentions are, and each one of those is going to get turned into 3 interrogatories. Another sort of fun feature is if you come across like a compound contention, some people, because you're treating it as a single contention, maybe opposing counsel is not going to object that you're interrogatories compound, but some people like to separate it out. One example of that is, Arthur shot a guy, robbed a bank, and then stole a boat. Those are three sort of separate things. So we have a little arrow button there on the left, like the downward facing arrows, where you can click that, and then Legion will automatically split it for you. It'll detect if it's a compound sentence, break it apart into three separate sort of contentions that you'll get ROGs for. So really easy.
And this button does what?
That's so say you split them up, but then maybe you want to merge a couple back in, or you want to undo it. You could just sort of click that button, and then it will merge with whatever the previous interrogatory was, or the previous contention was.
Great. All right, so I'm not going to select everything. It's going to take us a really long time. Oh, here's an example. It broke up all these pieces to get apart. So could we merge these with the previous one?
That's right.
Okay, merge with previous, great. Merge with previous and merge with previous. Wonderful. That gets that whole paragraph 16. Awesome. Okay, let's see if we can find one where we have to split it.
No, you could even just resplit the same thing that you just combined.
Mhm. See if we split that original sentence. Yeah, I just wanted to show this screen. Look at that, breaks it down into three. Because we're talking about three different parts of section 12.3. And you can tell it to resplit, right? So it'll try again.
Yeah, and if you don't like it, you can try to have it resplit, and then pretty easy.
Okay. All right, so let's say we've clicked all of the facts in the case, just generally what you want to do. And you can see how much time this is going to save, right? 49 paragraphs. Each of those gets turned into three interrogatories, facts, documents, persons. And so once you're done selecting your contentions, you hit finalize, right?
Yep. And there was also while that's sort of going, at the previous screen, there was a export selections button at the top right of like the PDF of the complaint. And that was a feature that we put in there that will export whatever you've selected as a PDF with highlights for everything that you selected. So it makes it really easy for you to sort of hand that to, the partner that's going to look at this and has final say, and they can just look at all the highlighting rather than having to read, 20 pages of interrogatories. They can just see very quickly what contentions you actually picked and can sort of give feedback that way to go back and revise. So pretty easy feature.
Well, can I go back and do that?
Yeah.
Export selections, that's what you're talking about?
Mhm.
Great. Oh, look at that. Boom.
And there you go.
Oh, that's really nice. Yeah, that's what I would like to know as a managing partner. Did we catch all of these that we're concerned about? Nice. All right. Well, let's go back to where we were.
So
So was I not supposed to hit redraft?
you, you didn't have to. You could have just went right back to whatever was the
Oh,
workflow.
that's true. Yeah, just right over here.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So it's coming up with what looks like the shell that my paralegal would give me. Where did you get this information?
So I've been a practicing litigator. I still have one case, so I get to use these tools in my own practice. So a lot of this is from my own experience and the stuff that I put together, my templates, my work product. But we have all of these in settings and preferences so that if you have your own sort of definitions you like to use, your own preferences, it's really easy to sort of swap them out and plug in whatever your preferred thing is. The other thing that some attorneys might look at here, and they'll say, well, these are special interrogatories. They need to be full and complete in and of themselves, and separate definitions are not that. Don't worry, in preferences, there is a button or a selection that you can choose to choose nested definitions that will actually put it, will not have a separate, yeah, right there. We'll have
Right there, current
not a
definition
separate,
style.
not a separate section of definitions, and instead we'll define them in the actual interrogatory itself. So whatever your preference is, you can pick.
Well, we'll just give that a try. Do I hit reset to defaults or keep it on
No,
nested?
I think that should be it.
That does it? Okay. Excellent. And then let's go back to the special interrogatories. So party selection, I don't need to redo the contentions. I'm just going here, right?
We might need to, you could probably go to the contentions and then click on redraft and then see if that works.
Oh, because we included the nested, I
Yeah,
see.
we changed the settings, so it's gonna need that. We'll see if that works.
Okay, so you told us in the last video, if the work product that you pay for comes out and you want to make more changes, you can go back into the case and rejigger it a little bit. And if it's the same number of pages, you're not going to get charged more, but if it's more pages, you'll get charged for that.
Just the difference. Yeah. So if it's
Yeah.
10 pages, it's $100. If you add like an extra page, we'll only charge you 10. So all the stuff that Katie's doing right now isn't costing her anything. I want people to, you change your mind, now suddenly you want nested, totally fine. We got you.
Okay. Well, great. There's the nested definitions. And there we have special interrogatory number one, all facts. And then it's got the contention that we highlighted right there, despite receiving $875,000 in payments. So for that fact, state all facts, identify all documents, identify all persons, identify all documents. And that goes for each contention that we had it uh, read. And so this is enormously powerful. This even at having my paralegal do this at the $275 an hour, this is still an extremely expensive document for the client. So show me how this works down here. You can suggest edits.
Yeah, so here's you could probably do a mass edit to everything. You
Okay.
could click on that, do all contention interrogatories. And then I would say, let's see if this works. I would say define all terms uh, in all interrogatories.
Okay.
And now, so that feedback that she just gave is going to be applied to every single one of those interrogatories. And ideally, if it's going to work, I haven't tested this, so we're all going to learn today. But it should then now define the term in every single interrogatory. So I know some folks like to do it that way. By and large, I usually see when people do nested definitions, they will just define it the first time that it appears and then not afterwards. But some people like to define it in every single one. So
Just depends on the partner you're working with.
depends on the partner.
Everyone wants it a little bit different. Okay, there we go. So there's the definitions.
Oh, I went and separated it out. Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
it separated it out. Oh, well. Well, we can definitely play with this. I prefer it this way. So I'm going to go ahead and accept the document as it is. Um, the nested definitions are cool, but that's not how I like it. One of the associates in my firm does it that way. So she can choose that for herself. And you can see it's just spitting out
mm.
all of this that would take cut, paste. Just awful.
So, so since this is a good time to show, so when it didn't really do what we wanted it to do, it sort of went off the rails and did its own thing. It's pretty easy to fix this. So say we wanted to just roll back. There's a little right next to the draft over there on the left, right above V1, to all
Mhm.
parties V1, and then there's a little clock with an arrow around it. Now up top where you were to all parties, and then the special
Ah,
interrogatories. Yeah, click on that. And then I want you to select all the interrogatories. And
and
then
to all parties.
I don't think we did edits to that
Okay.
one. That one should be fine. And then there's a little back arrow up there where you just were. Yeah, go ahead and click that. And there you go. So now we're right back to the previous version that we had. And then we could try to give feedback again or do whatever. So it's very easy if you play with the sort of mass feedback tool like we just did right now, and if it doesn't do something that you want, it's pretty easy to undo it and just roll back right to where you were.
Great. Okay. Well, I'm happy with what we have now. So I'm going to go ahead and download. And while it's thinking, I know we talked about this in the last video, but what is the pricing structure?
Sure. So it's $10 per page of output. You have unlimited revisions. You can play with it as much as you want. You're not going to pay a cent until you actually want to download the Word doc itself. And then even then, if you want to come back and change things, you talk to your client, you change your mind, or you talk to the partner and they want you to do some things, you can go right back in, make whatever edits you want, and then we won't charge you. We'll only charge you the difference. If it's a 10-page document and you add an extra page, we'll charge you only $10. If it's the same page, we don't charge you anything. If it's less, we don't charge you anything, but we don't refund you. The other thing that you're going to notice here that Katie has done is because she is over 35 interrogatories, you need a counsel declaration for additional discovery. We detect when that happens and we automatically generate one for you as well, if you want to save some extra time on that too.
Neat. Okay, so it gave us 2 documents to purchase. The 10 pages of the discovery is 100 and the counsel declaration is 3. Let's go ahead and purchase that for 130. I've already got my credit card saved in there. And then it will go ahead and download automatically. And we can open that up. And there it is, my pleading paper with the to all parties and their attorneys of record. And it's got the nested definitions in there because we went back to the previous version before we did the global edit. So that's nice. And then the counsel declaration, let's take a look at that. The pleading paper, and it's got everything you need. In this case, we haven't propounded any special interrogatories before, so we have 0 there, but watch out for that if you've done some before that Legion doesn't know about. But this is really helpful for me because this is something that litigators can commonly forget and then scramble and do at the end. So I'm really happy with this. Very cool product, very cool workflow. It saves our clients. Let's see, even if our paralegal was to do that, that's a half a day project, all that cutting and pasting. And at $275 an hour, that's $1,000 at least for contention interrogatories. And here we did it in 10 minutes for $130.
And your paralegal will be happy that she didn't have to do this for a whole half day and she can maybe work on something more interesting that she would like to work on.
That's right. That's right. We don't have the mind-numbing cut and paste. All right, great. Well, this was so fun. We'll come back for another video to show you how to propound special interrogatories and then RFAs and RFPs. Thanks, everyone. Have a
Awesome.
great day.
Bye.
Bye.